We always hear this statement how celebrities are human, just like the rest of us, right? It's kind of a cliche, but it's actually true. Over the past few years, more and more influential celebrities came forward to talk about mental health, and many of those statements saved others. They brought awareness to hard-hitting subjects like depression and anxiety, making us realize just how hard it is to be in a constant spotlight. Billie Eilish erupted on the scene as a teenager, and having lots of attention on herself definitely took a toll on her mental health. The teenage pop star is very open about her relationship with her mind. She wants to make sure she also brings awareness to anyone else that might need to hear those words. Not only does Billie frequently refer to heartache and depression in her songs, she's also sharing how she overcomes her mental struggles in her interviews. She revealed that depression controlled everything in her life and that for all of her life, she's always been a melancholic person. It's precisely why she releases songs that her audience can actually resonate to, as she knows she's not alone. In an interview with Rolling Stone, she added that, quote, "Kids use my songs as a hug. Some adults think that's bad, but I feel that seeing that someone else feels just as horrible as you do is a comfort. It's a good feeling." And although Billie admits she's not a trained professional, she learned a lot from her own mental health struggles. She continues to prioritize mental health, but she is also aware that talking about it helps her own supporters. She advises that people should ask for help even if it's just a light conversation, and doing so doesn't make you look weak, or even just checking up on our friend and asking if they're really okay. Quote, "The main thing I'm trying to say is that you should keep your ears open and you should listen." Another celebrity that's been very open about growing up in the public eye and the struggles that came with that is Maisie Williams. She's using her Game of Thrones spotlight to talk about the dark side of fame and how it negatively impacted her mental health. Maisie revealed how she hated herself for parts of her life and how negative criticism affected her. Growing up on camera is very tough, but it's even harder when you're meant to put on a cheery, bubbly persona. Even though the behind the scenes might show a very different side of you, negative social media attention can be difficult to deal with for any youngster, and Maisie wasn't any different. Maisie revealed just how she felt about herself, saying, quote, "I went through a huge period of my life where I'd tell myself every day that I hated myself." She said that depression really started to affect her thoughts even when she was in the company of others. Quote, "It got to the point where I'd be in a conversation with my friends and my mind would be running and running and running and thinking about all the stupid things I've said in my life and all the people who have looked at me a certain way." Over the years, Maisie got better at dealing with self-criticism. She admitted that she completely understands why people go insane when these thoughts consume them so much. The social media bullying was endless for the Game of Thrones star, and she became completely overwhelmed by online criticism. Quote, "It gets to a point where you're almost craving something negative so you can sit in a hole of sadness, and it's really bizarre the way it starts to consume you." Maisie also stated that she's kind of ready for a normal life with people she loves. She seemed to have realized that the crazy world of social media pressure is really not worth it. But it's not just Maisie that has realized that the pressure of fame comes with many negative consequences. Her fellow Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner has also opened up how depression and anxiety affected her everyday life. Sophie revealed that when she first met her now husband Joe Jonas, she was in a very tough mental headspace. Just like Maisie, she pretty much grew up on screen, and that took its toll on her mental health. She was quoted saying, quote, "Having your adolescence being displayed in public, that's something I really wish hadn't happened." Due to a lot of onset stress, Sophie admitted her body started to change over the years. She started calorie counting and generally became very unhealthy. At around 17 and 18, Sophie realized how difficult it was to go through body changes in front of everyone. Television as well as negative criticism constantly pressured her to lose weight. She decided to start visiting therapy after this mindset took a toll on her body. She said that, quote, "Everyone needs a therapist, especially when people are constantly telling you you're not good enough and you don't look good enough." Sophie also revealed how hard it was when she first met Joe Jonas, who found her at her lowest. She said that, quote, "He was like, I can't be with you until you love yourself. I can't see you love me more than you love yourself." That was something, him doing that. Another GOT star opened up about the reality of mental health. Emilia Clarke admitted she suffered from 2 life-threatening aneurysms while filming Game of Thrones. She was just 24 when she started experiencing wooziness, shooting pain, and persistent nightmares, and no one knew about it except her closest friends. She admitted that in her worst moments, she was ready to pull the plug. After her second life-threatening surgery, Emilia said she was having the most difficult time of her life. Quote, "I felt like a shell of myself, so much so that I now have a hard time remembering those dark days in much detail. My mind has blocked them out, but I do remember being convinced that I wasn't going to live." But it's not just actors. Singers are also using their platform to talk about mental health. Pop singer Halsey revealed that a hospitalization at an age of 17 revealed a diagnosis of bipolar disorder. It's that hospitalization that helped her realize just how worthy life was. Being a pop star on a difficult and demanding schedule is extremely hard, and Halsey admitted that a breakdown was inevitable. Quote, "Given what I've been experiencing the past couple of years, if I hadn't already had my meltdown, who knows when it would have happened." Halsey also revealed how being in constant media scrutiny and criticism affects her. As a pop star, she's frequently compared to names like Ariana Grande. She revealed that actually being supportive of each other helps them all cope, as being a woman in the music industry isn't easy. Another pop girl who knows exactly what Halsey is talking about is Selena Gomez. In 2016, Selena had to cancel her summer tour in order to seek treatment for anxiety and depression. Although she was never really outspoken about her struggles before that point, it was clear that the singer was suffering. After her comeback, she addressed the public at the American Music Awards, saying that, quote, "If you are broken, you don't have to stay broken." In an interview with Vogue, she revealed that tours are a really lonely place for her. Her depression took over and she felt like she wasn't good enough or capable to perform. Quote, "My self-esteem was shot. I was depressed, anxious. I started to have panic attacks right before getting on stage or right after leaving the stage." And if that's not enough, Selena had to enter a rehab facility after complications from her kidney transplant. The pressure of her transplant caused her to have a panic attack, which put her emotional state at risk. To save herself, she checked into a mental health program. The panic attacks were a result of her suffering from lupus, as well as being in the social media spotlight as one of the most followed Instagram accounts. And we all know by now that this means seeing a lot of hate in the comments. Selena addressed that, saying, quote, "It felt like I was seeing things I didn't want to see, like it was putting things in my head that I didn't want to care about." In 2018, Selena entered a mental health facility again. A source close to her said that depression is something Selena has always struggled with. So when it gets really bad, she removes herself from social media and only stays in touch with people she truly trusts. Selena is very appreciative of the effect therapy has on her mental health. In her interview with Vogue, she also said that, quote, "I wish more people would talk about therapy. We girls were taught to be almost too resilient, to be strong and sexy and cool and laid back, the girl who's down. We also need to feel allowed to fall apart." Kendall Jenner also revealed that she suffers from anxiety. She even stated she was on the verge of a mental breakdown in 2017. Her intense lifestyle forced her to stay away from the runways and enjoy time at home instead to prioritize her health. In 2018, she said that she frequently wakes up in the middle of the night with full-on panic attacks. But Kendall learned that being public about mental health not only helps herself, but also her fans. Quote, "There's this community. I take what they do to help themselves and piece it together to find what helps me." Demi Lovato has also been one of the most outspoken pop stars when it comes to the subject of mental health. And if you haven't seen her Simply Complicated documentary, you absolutely have to. Her honesty surrounding mental illnesses helped many of her fans and was encouraged by the media. She admitted to experiencing self-destructive thoughts at an early age and has been combating them ever since. Quote, "I knew at a young age that some of my behaviors were a problem." In 2010, the singer reportedly hit rock bottom and entered a treatment facility. It was around that time she received her bipolar diagnosis. It helped her explain why she acted out the way she did. As a mental health advocate, Demi frequently talks about the dark realities of the subject. Quote, "4 out of 10 people with mental illness get help. You have to wonder about the other 6. From family issues to substance abuse, Demi has experienced it all. And although recovery is an ongoing battle for her with many ups and downs, she also determined to open up about the reality of mental health. Quote, "You know, entering rehab while you're on the Disney Channel, it was kind of like everything was magnified in the spotlight. It's quite the headline and I couldn't get around it. So I thought, you know, I can use this to help others, and that's what I did." Justin Bieber also opened up about his mental health and revealed how being a child star affected him over the years. On March 10th, 2019, Justin posted an Instagram update that saddened many of his fans. He said, quote, "Just feeling super disconnected and weird. I always bounce back, so I'm not worried. Just wanted to reach out and ask for you guys to pray for me. It wasn't wasn't the first time Justin openly talked about his fears and anxieties. In an Insta story, he actually revealed he's attending therapy and how good it is to have a healthy mind and healthy emotions. Ariana Grande has also been extremely outspoken on battling through everything she had to deal with over the past few years. She revealed that she's still dealing with the lasting effects trauma has had on her brain by showing an actual photo of her brain scan. She made a shocking, now deleted statement to a fan who said they love that Ariana's using music as therapy. Ariana replied that, quote, "Making it is healing. Performing it is like reliving it all over again, and it is hell." The statement caused a lot of concern for her fans, but Ariana assured that she is seeking help and recovering every single day. She frequently talks to her Twitter fans where she shares her thoughts on mental health. Quote, "If you're afraid to ask for help, don't be. You don't have to be in constant pain, and you can process trauma. I've got a lot of work to do, but it's a start to even be aware that it's possible." If you are going through a difficult time yourself, remember that it is okay to ask for help. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.